Good morning. I, Jaya Chan, Assistant Professor, Computer Science Department at Aarya College of Engineering and IT. Uh, we- Today we discuss about the EDF and shared resources in RTS. First, synchronization protocol. In this chapter, the resource reservation mechanism has been extended to work with a more general model where tasks can interact through shared resource protocol uh, by matrices. This problem is to paramount importance for the implementation of resources reservation technique in real operating system. Two different approaches have been analyzed. In the first approach, the CBS algorithm has been extended and work with the SRP. In the second approach, the CBS algorithm has been extended to work uh, with the priority inheritance protocol. The first approach is being suited in hard real-time system that also includes soft real-time aperiodic tasks. The second approach is the best suited in dynamic real-time system where there is no a period knowledge about the task requirement. So both the priority inheritance protocol and the stack resource policy can be used under EDF without any modification. Uh, let's first consider priority inheritance. When a higher priority job is blocked by a lower priority job on a shared mutex SIM4, then the lower priority job inherits the priority of the blocked job. Uh, in EDF, the priority of the job is inversely proportional to the absolute deadline. Here you should substitute higher priority job with an earlier deadline and inherit the priority with inherit the absolute deadline. Next is preemptive level. Simply put, preemptive means that a higher priority task, a process or thread gets control to the IPU, and the so preempted lower priority task is forced to wait its turn priority wise to execute instruction. This is a typically implement using protected data structure and a couple of double linked list interrupt handle. Uh, to compute the blocking time, we must first order the task based on their primitive level. Every task Ti is assigned a primitive level pi I, such as uh, it can print a task Tj if and only if pi I is greater than pi j. In fixed priority, the primitive level is the same as the priority. In EDF, the primitive level is defined as pi I is equal to 1 upon di. In fact, the following figure shows if Ti can print Ti Tj, then the following two conditions must hold. Ti arrives after Tj uh, has start to execute, and hence AI is means absolute deadline of TAI is greater than absolute deadline of J. The absolute deadline of TIA is shorter than the absolute deadline of TJ. Uh, it follows that di is equal to ai plus di is less than equal to bj is equal to aj plus di. With the graphical example, notice that pi 1 is greater than pi 2. In this case, ti preempts t2. No, because its relative deadline is greater than ti. Computing the blocking time, the compute the blocking time of EDF plus, primitive priority inheritance. We use the same algorithm as for FP plus PI. In particular, the two function fundamental theorem are still valid. Each task can be blocked only once per each resource and only for the length of one critical section per each task. In case on non-nested critical section, build a resource usage table. The algorithm for the blocking time for task Ti is the same. Settability formula. In case of relative deadline equal to periods, we have this formula, and in the case of relative deadline less than the periods, then we use uh, these formulas. Here we analyze a complete example for a parameter of the task, and from the resource usage table we compute the BIS and text schedulability. Blocking time for T1 is 3203. Blocking time for T2 is 5. Blocking time for T3 is 4, and blocking time for T4 is 0. Complete schedulability test. There is a general formula of schedulability test. When we perform task T1, then we use this formula, and C1 upon T1 plus P1 upon T1, then C1 of T1 is equal to 2 2 upon, and T1 then 2 plus 3 is equal to, and B1 is equal to 3, then 2 plus 3 is equal to 5 is 0.5 5 is less than is equal to 1, and for as the same the task T2, C1 upon T1 plus C2 upon T2 plus B2 upon T2. Here is the equation. Here is the solution, and hence the 43 is equal to 0.9333 is less than is equal to 1. Now we do an example for possible schedule. We assume that the task assets the resource as follow. In the graph, L1 is equal to lock S1, U1 is equal to unlock S1, and L2 lock S2, and U2 unlock S2. The task start with an offset, because in the example we want to highlight the blocking time at the beginning. Stack resource policy. Stack resource policies offer improvement over the uh, mm, over the priority ceiling protocol, on unifying the treatment of stack, reader write, and multi-unit resource and binary seam force. Applying directly to same dynamic scheduling policies include EDF as well as to static priorities policies. With EDF scheduling supporting a strong schedulability test, reducing the maximum number of contests by a factor of 2. A finite sequence of instruction to be executed on a single process. uh, Pending requests are classified as waiting, meaning the job hasn't at a start. Active, meaning the job has started to execute. Processor PI is an infinite sequence of job execution request J1, JI1, JI2, JI3, and so on. Now we analyze the previous example, assuming EDF plus SRP. Let we start assign the primitive level. The actual value of the primitive level is not important as long as they are assigned in the right order. To make calculation easy, we set pi 1 is equal to 4, pi 2 is equal to 3, pi 3 is equal to 2, and pi 4 is equal to 1. And then the resource ceiling R1 is equal to pi 1 is equal to 4, and ceiling of R2 is equal to pi 2 is equal to 3. Here we schedule. At this point, the system's uh, ceiling is raised to pi 1, the ceiling of R1. At this point, the ceiling is raised to pi 1, and the task 3 T3 cannot start executing because pi 3 is less than pi 1. Same for T2. At this point, the system ceiling goes back to 0. Now T2 can start. In this example, we assume that T2 logs R1 just before T1 arrives, then synchronize ceiling pi 1 and T1 cannot print. Thank you.